Imagine yourself having to get visa to enter the blessed city of Makkah and to be able to make tawaf and do umrah. And then once your visa expires, imagine yourself being asked to leave. Now apply that to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imagine if the person who needs to seek permission to enter Makkah is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the person who's being asked to leave Makkah is the Prophet of Islam, the final Prophet of Allah, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the people that he needs to ask for permission are not really the custodians of Makkah either. They're the kuffar, the enemies of Allah. But that's exactly what happened with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he went to perform Umrah in the 6th year and he was stopped at Hudaybiyah, he entered into an agreement of peace. The agreement said that they're not allowed to perform Umrah this year at all. They need to go back next year at the same time. They can come and they can perform Umrah, but they can only stay for 3 days. So it was a 3-day visit visa, Umrah visa, for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the following year, in this month that we are in right now, the month of Dhul Qa'dah, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to Makkah. He performed Umrah, and after performing the Umrah, he spent the remaining time in Makkah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam always only did one Umrah per visit. Whenever he went to Makkah, he only did one Umrah. He didn't do more than one Umrah. Although it's permissible to do more than one Umrah, but the Prophet ﷺ only did one. So when he finishes Umrah, which is Tawaf and Sa'i, he stayed in Makkah and just spent time around the Kaaba. So when 3 days were complete, the Prophet ﷺ was still in Makkah. So some kuffar went to Ali radiallahu anhu and they said, قُلْ لِصَاحِبِكَ أَنِ اخْرُجْ. Tell your friend to leave Makkah. The time has expired. The visa has expired. So the Prophet ﷺ, without any negotiation, without any further request, extension or anything like that, because that's what people do. They go for extension. Most people, they just hide. Most people, I've seen so many people, especially around the time of Hajj, from countries like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, they come to Makkah, they come to Medina and they stay. Their visa expires after 15 days or 30 days, but they stay and they want to do Hajj on prohibited terms. They want to do Hajj when their visa has already expired. So the Prophet ﷺ, when he was told by Ali radiallahu anh that these people want you to leave, they want us to leave. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he packed his bags and he was leaving Makkah. When he was leaving Masjid al-Haram, he was followed by a little girl. She was the daughter of Hamza radiallahu anh, the uncle of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he had already been martyred in the 2nd year, in the 3rd year in the Battle of Uhud in Medina, and this was probably 3 years later or 4 years later. So she followed the Prophet ﷺ. She came running behind the Prophet ﷺ and she was calling him uncle. Ya Am, oh my uncle, take me with you. She wanted to go with the Prophet ﷺ so badly. So Ali radiallahu anh, he went to her running and he grabbed her. And he said, she is the daughter of my uncle too, because he was Ali radiallahu anh's uncle too. So the Prophet, so Ali radiallahu anh, he went to his beloved wife Fatima radiallahu anha and he said, Ya Fatima, this is the son of your uncle too. Hamza radiallahu anh was her uncle too. He said, this is the son of your uncle, Hammili. This is the daughter of your uncle, so it's your responsibility. Take her. She's coming to our house. The Prophet ﷺ, of course, was related to her as well, but Ali radiallahu anh wanted to take the honor of being the custodian and caretaker of the daughter of Hamza radiallahu anh. So when he brought her, into the group. Now there are 3 people who are vying with each other to take custody of this girl. There are 3 people. There is Ali radiallahu anh, who said, I want her. And he said, I want her because she is my uncle's daughter. And my wife Fatima is also, the niece of Hamza. So we have double relationship. So she is more worthy of being in our house. The other person was Ja'far radiallahu anh, who was another brother of Ali radiallahu anh, another son of Abu Talib. He said, she is also my uncle's daughter. And the other thing which is more interesting in my case, he said, is that my wife is her aunt, her khala, her maternal aunt. So we have double relationship too. So we have more right to take her custody. And Zayd radiallahu anh, that was the third person, he said, well, Hamza was my foster brother. So she is his daughter and she becomes my niece. So I am more worthy of taking her custody. So the case went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was going to be the judge and he was going to decide who will take this girl to their home. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he heard everyone's case, he said, Al-khalatu bi-manzilatil The mother's sister is like a mother. In absence of mother, if there's no mother, the mother's sister will be the most worthy of taking care of that child. So she deserves the most priority in taking her custody. So he granted the custody of Hamza's daughter to her aunt, her maternal aunt. And then he said to Ali radiallahu anh, he said, Anta minni wa ana mink. Oh Ali, you are from me and I'm from you. We are same. You are from me and I'm from you. And then he turned to Ja'far radiallahu anh and he said, Ya Ja'far, ashbahta khalqi wa khuluqi. Oh Ja'far, you resemble me in both, in my appearance and in my character. Subhanallah. He said to Ja'far, praising him, Oh Ja'far, you have resembled me in my appearance and in my character. And then he turned to Zayd radiallahu anh and he said, Ya Zayd, anta akhuna wa mawlana. Oh Zayd, you are our brother and our master. Subhanallah. Everyone was happy. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now imagine, this is a real incident where the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam needed a visa to enter Makkah. And then when his visa expired, he's being asked to leave Makkah. And he abides by his commitment. This is the lesson that we learn as Muslims from the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The word you give, the commitment you give, you live by it. A Muslim will never betray. A Muslim will never be treacherous. And a Muslim will never violate or break his promise or his contract that he made. So here the Prophet ﷺ had given his word that yes, we will only come for 3 days. When the 3 days were over and he was reminded that 3 days are over, he needs to leave, he quietly packed his bags and he went back to Medina. Please continue to make dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. May Allah